This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Yeah, the bye week's been good. Just getting a chance to focus on some individual fundamentals. The time off has been good also. We've been going for quite a while now. When you look at the modified training camp and, just getting an opportunity to kind of rest some of the bumps and bruises, focus on some fundamentals, and then obviously get a jump on VOTEC has been real beneficial.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for Liberty Safeties coach Corey Batoon. We'll go ahead with John first.
Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty well. So Virginia Tech's obviously got a big, rushing attack that they present both from their quarterback and I believe the leading rusher in the country. What type of challenges do they present other than the obvious? And how are some what are some ways that your guys, your unit, your defense can kind of counter what they present and that strength they have?
Sure. It starts up front. I think their front is very physical. They do a great job of working in tandem with each other. Tight ends are big physical players, and I think along their front, you look at the amount of games they've started as a unit. Guys that have played meaningful snaps, I think that lends to their production up front. And like all running games, it starts with the talent up front, the physicality, and the understanding of their schemes. The quarterback and the back are both very talented. The two transfer backs I think are very exceptional, and then the quarterback, both quarterbacks that they've played this year have brought their unique style to the run game, but are obviously equally dangerous. So we'll have our work cut out for us on Saturday, just in terms of matching their physicality and being gap sound in our fits.
Go ahead, Damian.
And Corey, you look at what Hooker's been able to do at throwing the ball. He's one of the more accurate passers in the nation and was last year. Is their ability to run the ball and suck in those safeties, and how much have you seen that allow them to take advantage of some one-on-one matchups and move the ball that way?
Sure. No, I think whenever you're as productive as they are in the run game, you're dealing with loaded boxes, and when you do load the box, the play action, you get a lot of one-on-one matchups on the outside, and they got some really dynamic receivers along with tight ends that can stretch the field horizontally and vertically. And so they present a challenge for you in regards to being able to play both sides of it. Being able to be gap sound in the run game, and at times having to dial another half man into the run fit, and then that obviously exposes you in the pass game. And they've been able to take advantage of people that way. But they have a really good understanding of their system. It's a system they've been running for a long time, clear back to the Memphis days. And they have a very good understanding of how that system works and how to be successful within it.
Have you ever coached against a Justin Fuente team?
Yeah, we faced him twice at Ole Miss when he was at Memphis, and same stuff. Very, very physical run game. Always have a quarterback that's a dual threat player. I think the couple of years there they had a little bit more of a thrower than a runner, but obviously the system itself is it's all the same stuff, the same run plays, the same type of mismatches that you see in regards to perimeter fits. They do a really good job with it.
Coach, one for me. When you look at their versatility in the run game, and you've got a quarterback that can hurt you, you've got running backs that can hurt you, you can't really key on just one. How important is it to be able, as a play caller or coaching staff, to be able to determine tendencies, pre-snap, and things like that to kind of know where to key in on, especially in a game like this?
Sure. No, I think that they do a really good job of understanding their system, and they understand the strengths and the weaknesses, and as they each week they give you a little different wrinkle, to try to throw you off of their tendencies. And like all good offenses, they do a nice job with their self-scout, and each week you kind of see a pattern of things, new wrinkles, if you will, that present those problems. So It's the ability of this offense to keep you on your heels defensively, make you play with disciplined eyes in the play action game, and you got to be sound in terms of fitting the runs, both inside runs and perimeter runs. They do a great job of bringing receivers down, cutting splits, adding numbers to the box. It's very tactical in terms of how they run the ball, and then they have their shot plays off of it. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
And one other from me, just given how much pressure this Liberty has been able to get on teams using just 3 and 4 guys up front, going against an offensive line like this that's been so physical and so downhill in the run game this year, how much could that potentially stretch the defense if you guys have to devote more to be able to get into the backfield?
Right. Well, I think anytime you want to try to create an offense being one-handed, and anytime they're able to hit you with the right and the left, meaning pass and run, and it really keeps you on your heels. So it'll be our ability to take something away and try to get them into more manageable situations. Winning first and second down and creating third and long situations, which they're rarely in because they're very efficient. They're rarely in third down. They're getting first downs on first and second down, and when they are in third down, it's usually manageable. So that's going to be quite a challenge for us. Is to be able to get them into those situations where they're more uncomfortable. But you got to win first, second down. You got to earn the right to rush the passer, and that's by winning first and second down.
John, go ahead.
Coach, when you look at Hooker and his ability to challenge your defense, your secondary in the pass game with his arm, and then also his ability to affect the game with his legs on the ground, how important is it for your safeties to, I know it is every week, but for them, especially this week, to make sure they're staying in their fits and staying in their progressions and not biting on some of those RPO fakes or whatnot.
Sure. No, you got to play with clean eyes, and we've seen segments of their type of play selections throughout the course of the year, and it's just a matter of making sure that we're all on the same page, with our front and our coverage, knowing where the fits are, and then playing with clean eyes. And again, so many times you're having to devote the extra man or the half man into the box where you kind of are living in both worlds, and those guys in particular have to do a great job of playing with clean eyes.
You could make the case that it's important every week, certainly, but especially in a game like this, tackling. How much is it going to be important to be able to not just run to the ball, but be able to wrap up and get somebody on the ground?
Yeah, no, that's going to be huge. That's the whole thing with defense, is getting people down to the ground. And I thought Louisville did a nice job in terms of schematically getting the pieces of their players, where they needed to be, but a lot of times just missing those tackles, one-on-one tackles in space, losing leverage on the ball, those type of things where you can draw it up on the board all you want, but it comes a time where guys got to get out there and execute and get people down. And those backs are really good backs. They both are finesse enough to make you miss in space, but are physical enough when they need to get downhill. And it's going to be quite a challenge for Saturday.
Damian, go ahead, and we'll take a couple more.
Corey, how important is the linebacker play going to be in this one with, you mentioned fitting the gaps and how they, play at the second level and making sure you wrap up so that way your safeties are, not having to clean up a lot of stuff.
Right. Well, everything that you're doing front and back end wise, they have to go hand in hand. And like I said earlier, Virginia Tech does a great job of, changing those looks, changing those pictures. And so, the back and the front being in concert with each other in terms of their gap responsibilities and leverage is going to be critical, like every week, but more so this week in regards to just how productive they are and how committed to the run game they are, play in and play out. So, we're continuing to practice. I'm glad we've had 2 weeks to work these fits.